Hey Colin, this is Tim Hinton. How are you doing? I really appreciate your question. I wish you good luck on your audition for the drum corps, and your question about training for cymbals was really, really interesting. As a training gym kind of guy, I really appreciated you asking, and I was really interested in it. And what happened is the great thing that's happening with the Marching Roundtable is that we are finding all these connections and all these resources, and your question actually played right into a whole sort of stream of direction that we're taking, because there's a lot of conversation going on about the Drum Corps Medical Project and about training appropriately for the great demands of Drum Corps. These days it's so physical. What the designers are asking the performers to do is so great that there's a lot of concern about keeping the students that are performing healthy. And so there's a lot of emphasis and a lot of discussion going on, and we're going to be doing a lot of podcasts and just talking to a lot of people on the Marching Roundtable about how to train correctly, what people need to be doing now, and like you're asking, to prepare for auditions and to prepare for the season. There's a website I want you to be aware of called, it's a Facebook page called Drum Corps Fit. Drum Corps is without a space. So if you type in Drum Corps as one word and then fit, you'll find it. I think it's something really good. There's a link on the Marching Roundtable Facebook page now. The guy behind that page is going to be on a podcast coming up in the first couple of months next year. And we're also talking to some other people about nutrition and other things like that. I sent a note to two of the percussion guys, Caleb Rothy and Don Click, that we had on the podcast about asking your question about cymbals, because as a trainer I can tell you shoulder exercises, ab exercises, that kind of thing, but I asked them if there was anything specific that they would suggest, and they actually referred me to a personal trainer that works with a lot of drum corps, and so I have a call to her, and hopefully she's going to be on a podcast too. So there will be a lot of information for you coming up. What I thought I would send you today, this is just sort of a homemade thing. My office is a mess. I'm sorry, this is sort of like off the cuff, but I thought it might be helpful since you asked about what some exercises for shoulders might be. You don't have to have a lot of fancy equipment to do this. If you have a gym, obviously it'd be great if you could go there and have the dumbbells that go up all in different ranges. If you don't have those, you can buy some cheap dumbbells at Sports Authority. They're usually $1 per pound. You can even just use things that are heavy that you have sitting around the house, as long as you're careful. And if you're a gym guy, then just go to the gym, do these exercises. I'm going to show you some things I'd recommend, sort of basic shoulder exercises to build the shoulders. And hopefully these will be helpful. So I'm going to talk forever here, but here are some suggestions I have for you. The basic exercise for building shoulders is just a press like this. So what you do is you grab the dumbbell. I really should have gotten them. I have some right over here, sorry. But you hold the dumbbell here, and then you come up, and at the top, you don't clink them together, but you bring them to the top where they're almost together, and then you come down. And you want to come down to where this is basically a 90-degree, and you don't want to come down lower than your ears. So you come down about 2 ears or a little bit above and up. You should just press up like this. So grab the dumbbells, bring them here, and press up, down like this. That's a basic press. Anything that goes up in the air is a basic press. The other exercise, that's really good for basically just the whole thing, the whole shoulder thing. For the front, the shoulders basically have a front, a side, and a back area, and we want to do an exercise for each of those as well. So for the front, I don't know, let me see if I can figure out how to get where you can see me. For the front, just hold them here, and then either holding your hands flat or turned, come up to shoulder level. You don't ever want to go higher than shoulder level, because as soon as you go higher than shoulder, you're starting to impinge your joint. But just take the dumbbell, come up to level. You can do it both at the same time. Make sure that your feet are flat, your knees are always slightly bent, your core is tight. Do this or one at a time. You can also turn your hand this way, what we call a hammer position, like you're hitting something with a hammer. And that hits the shoulder a little differently too. So that'd be good for front. You can also do this for a front raise, works the front of the shoulder. And all I'm doing is standing and just coming straight up. And again, just come basically as high as you can, which is about top of your pecs there. For the side, we would do what we call a lateral raise, lateral meaning to the side. Whenever you're working, let me tell you this too, whenever you're working with dumbbells and you're moving these positions with your arms, always have your arms slightly bent. Never have your arm completely straight, because that puts a lot of stress, unnecessary stress on your joint. It's very dangerous. So you always want to have your arms slightly bent. because you're still going to hit the shoulder just as hard, but you won't be putting stresses and straining these tendons and ligaments and things. So anytime you do these, always have your arms slightly bent. So when you come to the side, start with the dumbbells here, raise, my arm is bent. See, it's bent and it comes up to level and back down. I always tell people it's like you can set a tray. I don't know if you can see that. It's like you can set a tray on here and walk around and serve drinks. So that's what you want to do, maybe slightly more bent than that. So you come to the side and down. Up. That's a side raise. That hits the side part here. Here, you can do that one at a time. You can do it seated or standing. I usually do these, if I'm standing, I'm going to do them both arms. Or you can grab onto something and support yourself and move one at a time. And then grab whatever that is, do the other side. The other thing is for the back, this is a little bit more precarious. If you bend over and you do that same motion, but you do it coming up toward the back, you do that, you're actually hitting the back, the rear deltoid. It's that. So if you do these basic motions, the press being the most basic, the raise, the side lateral, and the rear, those are the basic motions for working out your shoulders. So those would be the basics I tell you. If you want some more information, you want information about any other body parts or whatever, I'd be happy to share you those too. And I'm putting this on as a private video so that only the people with the address can see it. Well, actually, I probably won't do that because this is just good information. So I don't know who's going to find it, but I'll be putting that for you. Hope this is helpful. Good luck to you. Get those shoulders strong. I know you talked about not having a lot of time to work out, which I understand everybody has that issue. But you'll feel better. You'll do better work when you are working, whatever you're doing, if you take time to take care of your health, eat well, and take time to exercise. You'll feel better and you'll be ready for the summer. Good luck.